He started the company with a couple of little presses and positioned the company more as a fastener manufacturer, nuts and bolts. And I recognize that the automotive sector is probably the pinnacle of technological development. I'm Ken Manners. I'm CEO and owner of Metal Forgings.
You provide components for some of the biggest names in the auto industry. They are powerful customers, and that's a big responsibility for you, of course. When did that become your bread and butter?
We had a big breakthrough in 1997. So happened to be the only company that was capable on the 1st of January 1997 of meeting a specific new regulation. Our competitors had missed that completely. And whilst we thought we were just getting ready to be able to compete with them or continue competing with them, we found out within 2 or 3 months of 1997 that in fact we were the only company in the world that was capable of making these components to meet these regulations. And that was a massive game changer for us.
What do you see as the biggest areas for growth right now for you?
Fortunately, our technology and the kinds of components that we manufacture remain relevant as the industry evolves into the electrification of vehicles. You know, the whole sort of changes that are associated with that. Most of the components that we manufacture remain relevant in that environment. And the global automotive industry per se is set for substantial growth still for the next 15, 20 years at least. Right now, for me, for SB Metal Forgings, our growth prospects are organic. We intend to grow the business as it is, just on a larger platform of what we're doing.
Can you talk about how your business has changed over the last nearly 3 decades, and especially transformation in the digital age, and how that may have impacted you?
Yeah, so that's been huge for us. So, in fact, the equipment that we have is actually very old school. It's most of my forging equipment is incredibly large chunks of machinery that are set into the floor like 2-3 meters, and they weigh sort of 200 tons. What we've done with those pieces of machinery in the last 20 or 30 years is found ways to use the digital age to improve their capacity, improve their capabilities. So where 20 years ago, operating these machines was extremely complex, and today you use things like PLCs, HMIs. These are computer industry-based devices which we retrofit onto these machines. And we have absolutely transformed the capacity, the productivity of those machines.
Can you talk to us about automation versus skilled human labor? How much do you use of one versus the other, and how do you decide on that mix?
I guess the answer is somewhat philosophical. I have a view that we live in a country that has a huge unemployment problem. And it's my personal goal to avoid unnecessary automation and look for ways to use human talent. That does not mean that one can completely ignore the relevance of automation. But for me, it's about retaining the ability to be a human company rather than a machine company. And so that gives us a tremendous amount of short-term competitive advantage.
What does the future hold for SB Metal Forgings in the next 5 to 10 years?
The long-term goals are to grow this business to the point where it's somewhere in the region of twice the size of its current size. And around that point, I guess I'm going to have to make some hard decisions around ownership. It's my hope that at some stage I will be able to partner with somebody like that and sort of hand the reins over to him or her or them, such that this remains a South African-owned company and proudly represents the capabilities of what South Africa can and will do as a leading light in the evolution of the African continent.